and welcome to Gaming Chat, the podcast where we invite members of the gaming community and industry to join us to play some of their favourite multiplayer games whilst telling us about themselves and why they enjoy these games so much. I'm your host Mike, and joining me today is Pete Beckett of Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast.
Hello.
And Gawny7789, the Pirate Goomba.
Hello, it's me. Hello.
Hello guys. So obviously Donkey Kong Bananza has come out for the Nintendo Switch 2 and we've decided we're going to play it together via Game Chat, and also we have a very important question to talk about later, and that is of course the current state of the gaming industry and how things can be improved in the future. So we're going to start off light, then we'll get to the heavy stuff, and then we'll go back to, you know, being light again.
Light stuff.
Yeah. So I've put in probably around about 10 or 15 hours into the game myself, but I've not really explored much. Not really delved too much into the story much. I've just been having a lot of fun smashing things and looking for bananas. How about yourselves?
Pretty much the same, to be fair. Yeah, I'm probably done about 10 hours altogether, I think, in the whole game. And progressed a few levels and stuff there. I've progressed the story a bit further forward, but still getting to grips with it still, I think, is the best way to sort of describe it. It's kind of a weird control system to get used to, but once you get used to it, it does work very well, I think.
Yes. Pete?
Yeah, I'm probably only about 5 hours in, if that. I only just basically hit the second world. I've been mostly doing story stuff. I haven't really gone off the beaten track too much, but I'm enjoying the game, but I have some thoughts about it.
Well, we will definitely get into those thoughts, because obviously you did play the demo at the Nintendo Switch 2 experience and you was not wowed by it at all. But it's good to see that not so much a complete U-turn, but you know, you are seeing it a bit more favourably. So let's talk about your biggest gripes with the demo, and then we'll see, you know, how it's fared, you know, with playing the full game. So for those who may not have seen any of the previous episodes that we've had Pete on to talk about Donkey Kong Bananza, or at least the demo and the Nintendo Switch 2 experience, or if you've not seen the Rapid Reviews Radio podcast where he's been vocal about it a good couple of times now. So Pete, let's retrace steps. Let's talk about the demo itself, and then we'll go into what your thoughts are now.
Okay, so my thoughts on the demo was that it was an okay game. There was nothing really that was blowing me away about it. It wasn't pulling up any trees, and it felt very similar to Mario Odyssey, which sort of makes sense because it's made by the same developers of Mario Odyssey. But I felt the control scheme wasn't intuitive in any way, shape or form, and the demo itself had a lot of performance issues. So I was a little bit concerned that with it being a public demo for the first time being shown to the public, that the performance issues was going to leave a sour taste in my mouth, which it did, because even up until launch I had no excitement for this whatsoever. Even after seeing all the directs, and I'm pretty sure we discussed that as well, I was concerned about this game.
As they say, one was not amused.
You could say I was less than amused, actually. I was quite disappointed. This was one of the games that on the original directs, when they revealed it, I was quite happy that this was coming out and was really excited about it. So for it to hit with a FUD like it did, it sort of really disappointed me. But hey. So, shall we go in? Do you want me to go into my thoughts about the game now?
Yes. I mean, obviously, I don't expect them to change too much. I mean, they may be slightly swayed, because obviously, like you said, you've only played about 5 hours of the game. But yeah, let's hear it. Let's see if you've made a U-turn or not.
I wouldn't say necessarily it's a U-turn, but I would say this is a lot more fun than actually I was expecting it to be after the public demo I played. I feel that the story is very much weak because it's not heavily required to have a story. It's just a very simplistic, oh, here's the reason to get from A to B, basically, and here's a set of bad guys that you need to go against. Go do your thing, basically, and that's always worked quite well for Nintendo games, I guess. I think the area of Isle Ingot is actually very well realised. It's a very decent little playground, and it's just it is actually a lot of fun. And I would probably say with Gorny as well, the control scheme does take a little bit of time to get used to, but once you're used to it, it does sort of make sense. But I still find jumping on A to be very unusual considering that B was jump in Mario Odyssey. So, but I know you can obviously map that.
Yes. Yes, I know that was one of the things that I struggled with a little bit in the beginning as well. It's like, why am I not jumping? Why am I not jumping? And it's like, oh yeah, because jump is designated to A and not B.
Yeah.
Oh. It is kind of weird to get used to it all, but I think after a couple of hours or so of playing the DK and once you get the mechanics of it, it does actually work fairly well. But like, yeah, I had the same sort of problems as you guys at the first. Like, why is the jump button switched over? Why is this doing this? But there's like the B button slots just to hit down, the X button to hit up, and then you've got there's a straight punch with the Y button. So it's just kind of weird. But there's an up punch for some reason. It's like, you only normally get that in like fighting games, and this is just kind of weird that you've got that in a platformer.
Yes.
It was very strange to get used to start.
But
yeah, I've really enjoyed it so far, though. In terms of what I've played, it is a beautiful looking game. It is absolutely stunning on the recordings I've done and everything. But the progress and story, I think I'm probably the same opinion as you guys. It's a little bit stale in places, but it does have a little bit of charm. Like the interactions between DK and Pauline, for example, have been really quite cutesy but quite fun. But it's also a reason to carry on playing, kind of thing, as such in the story. So yeah, good so far.
yeah, because you've put in some time now, haven't you? You've put in at least what, about 20 hours or so.
Probably a little bit less than that, but yeah, around that sort of time. I've gone through a few of the worlds. Don't want to put any spoilers in here for anyone who's still playing, of course. But this we're on at the moment is the first world you experience, kind of thing. So we just sort of show that one off a little bit in places. But yeah, I think the worlds are fairly. There's lots of variety in them. It's like they're kind of similar in a way to Odyssey in some places, but I think you can't really do too much with platformers in terms of worlds and options you have, kind of thing, for worlds.
Yeah.
But so far, what I've seen of it, it's been very nicely put together. So what are you guys actually doing at the moment? Are you? How many sort of bananas have you collected so far? And have you got unlocked any costumes or anything like that?
I do. Oh, I've found a banana that I haven't collected yet. There we are.
Hey! There's one. Speak of the devil.
Speak of the devil, nanas. I have collected a couple of outfits myself. Yes. Though I'm still more partial to like DK's, actual original design. I mean, the trousers and things like that, the breeches or whatever. Yeah, they're fun, and they each have their own unique.
You just want a naked Mike.
Oh yeah, you got to have naked DK.
Is there any other way to have it?
Exactly. B-day suit, but DK, yeah.
DK's B-day suit.
DK's B-day suit. Oh, try saying that 3 times fast. Oh dear.
No.
So like, I'm at the shop at the moment, and obviously you have to collect fossils and that to, to exchange them for outfits and things. And yeah, they're pretty cool. I got the the cowboy or cowgirl outfits for Pauline. And now that I said that out loud, that does sound a bit weird.
She is just a child, man.
Yeah, see, I knew you was going to do that, yeah. But it's because of the effect that it has, actually. Hold on, let me go back right? Because it extends the length of the Bonanza. No other reason. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you off then. If that's what you want to believe, then carry on.
Yeah.
There are lots of extra abilities you get for unlocking different costumes for both DK and for Pauline.
Sorry, the Gold Canyon Get-Up. It's the Canyon Get-Up.
That's the one you got.
Yes, I should have just said that first.
Is that like the cowboy outfit? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Yeah. Cowgirl, even.
Yeah. And they got the oh yeah, looking good. Yeah, let's get out of that. Right. So, let's move on to another stage then. I'm going to head over to Hilltop now, which is the next one along, just so we get a bit of a variety here going. So obviously this is like one of the earlier starting stages. This is the lagoon, after you obviously finish up in Ingot Isle, and then you end up here. And now I'm going to move on to the next one along. Don't look at the screen. Don't see any more levels. Spoilers.
Yeah, I didn't look, honestly.
Close your eyes, everyone. You saw nothing. Well, you can look at mine. I'm only about 4 worlds in. Don't look at Gordon's screen.
I think I'm just going to stay here
and
keep it spoiler-free. Also, because I haven't explored everywhere, so I just want to, see what I can find.
True.
There's apparently more bananas in this game than there was moons in Odyssey, so there'll be lots to find and explore after the game's finished, I think, with that.
Sorry, Gordon, could you say that again? I was a bit engrossed with the screen then, for some reason.
I wonder why.
You look at Pauline again.
God damn it, man.
God damn it. It's like, ooh, outfits. For DK.
Ooh, outfits.
Yeah. Do I want to be a red DK or a black DK or a green DK?
While you're doing that, I'll make a sculpture.
I'm talking fur, man. Fur.
I was going to say, some of us don't see fur colour, man.
Right, so I'm literally just pulling stuff off the ground here and just making a random sculpture just for the sake of it.
Yeah, don't blame you.
Nice.
There's lots of using different materials in this game, so you can put loads of dirt materials here. You've got concrete as one of the stronger materials to use to fight against enemies, but as you go along, there's also other ones you can collect and use. If you use Pauline, you can play co-op play as well, can't you?
You can, yes. And one of the beauties of this game as well is that you can do game share with another Nintendo Switch 2 or a Nintendo Switch. And
I might have to do that at some point. Oh, I found a treasure map. Sweet.
Yeah. Yes, because you can play it with your nephew or cousin?
My nephew. So I might have to do that soon then.
Yeah. It does take a little while to connect for some reason. So it can take about 40 seconds to a minute to detect the other screen. Okay. But then,
do you have to actually be on the same Wi-Fi network, or is it just, or do you have to be as part of the family plan?
No, it's just local wireless.
Okay, that's fine then.
Local wireless, as far as I know.
Excellent.
How does it run on Switch 1?
Not too bad. I mean, obviously there is a slight visual downgrade on the Switch 1 because obviously it's not like 1080p on like the Nintendo Switch 2 in handheld mode, but it's still fairly decent and playable. Oh, I've got a question, guy here. I won't do you because you'll give off quizzes, and yeah, can't do that. I've got Ramby. Hello. Don't want to give any more spoilers. Obviously, he has this is like a quizmaster guy, and he asks you questions, and obviously the questions are based on things that you've done in the game. So I'm not going to do that in case people are still trying to play through the game themselves. But yeah, so anyway, so it's kind of like asymmetrical multiplayer. So
so very much like Odyssey was.
Yeah. So like obviously whoever plays as DK it's got, you know, freedom of control, freedom of movement, and then whoever plays as Pauline can move a cursor around and, you know, shoot out words in the form of like different materials.
Interesting.
Yeah. Bit like, you know, with like Cappy, where, you know, the secondary player can, you know, play as Cappy to, you know, hit enemies and things like that, or the like Starbit thing in Galaxy where you can hold enemies down and stuff like that.
Yeah, it seems like a Nintendo thing to do for quite a few years now.
Yeah. It's one of those things like, okay, so you're playing this with a younger player that you want to get them, you know, introduced into video games where they're not going to mess up your save play or your save data, but you kind of want them to play with you as well to get to grips with video games and things. So it makes sense in
The little
that.
brother mode.
Now, okay, so I can't smash through that. That's like concrete or something, so I'll just go around it instead. I've been in here anyway. I do like that you can just like literally just, you know, if you can't find a path to get where you want to go, just make one.
Just make one, yeah. Just put it together, and it may take a little while to do, but you can sort of do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, there are some terrains that you just literally cannot smash through, and basically it's just like the foundation. So
Any sort of metal girders, basically.
yeah. So like I'm in the middle of a mud area here. If I go to my map, there's like all this area I won't be able to smash through.
Yeah, but I thought they said that you could smash literally everything. I'm joking, of course.
They lied.
Oh
Liars.
no! And of course now I'm stuck. I can't climb up. All right, I've got to find my way out of the mud.
I don't really know what I'm making here, but I'm just going to carry on putting dirt into a big pile and hope for the best.
Right, and if I smash up as I go along, oh yeah, treasure chest. I can actually, you know, make it a path to go up, so I don't have to climb. Yay!
How have you found the challenges on this so far? Because it's like individual challenge modes and...
They
and
have,
videos
yeah.
and
So
stuff.
there's like a number of challenges. Some are like, you know, like platforming challenges. Others you got to defeat a certain amount of bosses and a time limit, or there's like a racing kind of challenge. And I found them, you know, not overly difficult, but you know, fun and entertaining.
Yeah, some of them have been okay from what I've played so far.
There's been quite a few callbacks to games and other games I've found as well, and it's just quite a nice little thing. Nintendo always does that in lots of their games, but there's lots of like Donkey Kong references and Donkey Kong Country references and things like that. But yeah, it's been nice to sort of play through and enjoy some little nostalgia anyway, on that side.
There's enough in there to scratch that monkey brain of nostalgia, right?
Oh yeah,
Exactly
absolutely.
Exactly that.
And of course, you can't have a DK game these days without the super iconic DK rap, which has been like remixed or edited of sorts in this game. Which, when you go to a getaway, you'll actually hear it. So, have you been doing any getaways? Have you been making up little rest areas?
I have gone to a rest area and well, I created the one in the second area, and the first thing that came on was the DK rap just as we were about to record.
Nice. So that does seem to be a standard for the like the rest areas. But you can change the music with the discs that you find.
Yeah. Yes, you can unlock more as you go along, and there are multiple rest areas per world.
Yes.
So the more you unlock and make throughout each world, it gives you extra health updates. So, for example, if you unlock 2 of them, you get 2 hearts. If you unlock 4 of them, you can get 3, and so on, so you can clear all of them in the level as such. But it's kind of like Breath of the Wild in style, like they add yellow hearts to your health bar as such.
Yep. Yes.
So you get those extra health for all those boss fights, which you're probably going to struggle with at first. I'd expect from what I've experienced with those so far.
I mean, if you found, I mean, slight spoilers. I'm not going to go in too much, but like if
Closing my
you
ears, la 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 la
la
la.
la 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 la. Obviously, you know, the more rest areas that you find, the more temporary health you can obtain. Which obviously, if you are going through like the skill point route and using skills that you found, ow, that hurt. One of the things that you can increase. Oh no, I ran out of time. One of the things you can increase is your health, but because of these rest areas that you can put up, you can kind of like leave that because you can just like rely on the rest areas to give you extra hearts, which is fairly good because it allows you to increase other things.
Yeah, some of the later levels are kind of difficult on that side as such. There are a lot more tougher enemies as you progress, and you will be using a lot more of that health later on in levels. I can guarantee you. But as you say, the rest areas do help you a lot on that side. Yeah, this construction is going a bit crazy now. It's going quite high.
Isn't it just? Look at it. That's an absolute beast. Just so that people at home can see. Hold on, if I go across and actually go onto Gorna's screen to check out his creation here.
Yeah, there you go. I've got to make this random sculpture. I've just been throwing lots of dirt at it basically and hoping for the best. It's to see what I could make. Yeah, I've taken all this down here and made this big sculpture thing, which turns into a bit of a staircase, I guess. I can climb up it like this. So there you go. I'll make a staircase up to the top probably. See. So there you go.
Brilliant, love it. So,
as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters.
It is,
exactly.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
I think the destruction part of the game is very good though, in terms of the way it's been done. In fact, you can literally just tear apart any part of the world and just chuck it into this. It's really fun.
I mean, I know a lot of people are going to say, was it cathartic? It's a very, very cathartic experience, just to use the word. But for me, obviously, it's therapeutic. You've had a hard day's work, you've had all these people, screaming and shouting at you for no damn reason. And then you come home and you play this and you just smash the absolute heck out of everything. And you just feel better for it.
Yeah, it's
100%,
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen those rooms in America where you can just smash everything up. This is basically the video game equivalent of it.
Exactly that. Oh, there we go.
Where are these things going? Take me down now? I have no idea where these things are taking me.
Can I pose the important question then? Because this seems to be going around a lot at the moment.
Yeah.
Is this a potential for Game of the Year this year?
Oh, that's an interesting one, to be fair. I mean, obviously, as a Nintendo... Oh, I just threw a rock into the barrel. Didn't mean to do that. As a, firm Nintendo fanboy who's only ever really played Nintendo games. I mean, I have played PlayStation games as well in the past, but, always found myself always going back to Nintendo time and time again. I can see this as a potential, contender. However, I'm not obnoxious to the fact or, ignorant to the fact that, there are other games that are absolutely outstanding as well. I mean, obviously, people who have been playing Death Stranding 2 are going to say, oh, this is the best game I've ever played. Or those that have played Clair Obscur 33 or Expedition 33. I can totally see that. I mean, I know you've made your point very, very clear on that you absolutely love that game as well, Pete. So,
I loved Clair Obscur Expedition 33. It's the first time I've ever heard this. No, that game is wonderful. What game?
Will you break?
I played the first Death Stranding, and that was a very good game. Very confusing, very random. But I'm sure the second one's very much the same.
I couldn't get into Death Stranding in any way, so the second one just has no interest to me.
That's the problem with that, isn't it? Because if you didn't enjoy the first game, no one's going to play. You're not going to play the second one, so that'll probably be
Yeah.
its detriment for going to the Game of the Year. Whereas at least this is a brand new release as such, and I mean, it does have its own unique sort of style and things to it. It's still a platformer, but it's got its own feel to it as such. It's got a lot of similarities to Odyssey, which is maybe not such a good thing for it, but it does. The whole collectathon, being a platformer and stuff, it does work very well, and the whole uniqueness of being able to be Donkey Kong and run around in a pretty good 3D environment. Not saying that DK64 wasn't a good 3D Donkey Kong game, but this I think is a much better game in general.
I mean, you got to think. I mean, Donkey Kong 64 came out about 30 years ago now, if not a little bit more.
Yeah.
Close to, yeah.
Yeah. And we haven't really had another 3D Donkey Kong game since. No, we haven't. We've had a good number of 2D
platformer. No, we haven't.
Platformer, no.
No.
We're not. Bongo games and other things.
Jungle Beat and stuff like that. Yeah, we're not counting those.
Yeah. We're talking platformers.
Oh dear, so good. But yeah, it's a great Donkey Kong game. That's the best way I can describe it. It's got everything you need to be Donkey Kong, and it's got breaking things and like the whole character facial expressions and stuff in this game for him, the way they've redesigned him, I actually wasn't too sure about at first, but the more I play this, the more I like it more and more. There's just so much more to the character from his expressions alone, and it's the actual feel of the game is just much nicer, I think, in general to some of the other games like platformers I've played.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was really unsure about the actual redesign of Donkey Kong himself, but I'm growing used to it now.
I think you can sort of see the potential Donkey Kong film is going to go as well, with Pauline being the character here as well, but we'll see what happens,
Yeah, I guess only time will tell, won't it? I mean, that was one of the things that kind of shook me a little bit, because obviously, we've become very, very accustomed to, Donkey Kong and Diddy in these games. And then all of a sudden, Diddy is still in this, but he's a side character.
I've not seen him yet, so it'll be quite a while into the game, I expect.
Do you think Nintendo intentionally took Diddy out because of another potentially problematic Diddy in the world?
I mean, you can look at it that way. I mean, I see it more as, people have been saying that Nintendo have kind of like stripping away the Rare identity from the game.
I actually think they are.
And it's like, well, we had Pauline first, so we'll go back to Pauline rather than have, like Diddy in the character. Because you think a lot of the things that Pauline does in this game, Diddy could probably almost easily do. Well, obviously with the exception of the singing part. But it's like, some of the attacks and things, like running on top of, Donkey Kong when he's rolling, that's something that Diddy does in
Returns.
Exactly.
I think most of the partner players you have the captain in Odyssey, for example. I think they're there to just be the character to talk to, but make the audience have something to listen to. Whereas Pauline's slightly different to the fact that she's actually fully voice acted in this game.
Yes.
Like completely, every single cutscene and everything she speaks, which is kind of unique to Nintendo. They don't normally do that sort of thing. So it's very good. But I think her being that character, that is the one that the other characters are talking to Donkey Kong, but she's the one replying and such. It does work very well in the story. You still got that human interaction, even though you're a big monkey.
Of course.
Ooh. Okay, I'm still doing this. I don't know what I am actually doing now. I'm just
your creation has grown beyond your capabilities now, buddy.
Yeah.
You're doing the YouTube thing of I need a thumbnail.
Yeah, that's it. Here's the thumbnail. It's just a bit of dirt. I did this.
That's a clickbait video. Look what I made in DK Bananza.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, there you go. kind of unbreakable now. So, I do like the fact you can do this and just break it all. And like if you had like young kids you're playing a game with, and you can get them to build stuff, and then you can break it, or they can build stuff, or vice versa. You know, I think from what I've seen of some of my friends, like kids playing this game already, I think they've really enjoyed the whole smashing things apart aspect of it more than the actual game itself. You know, it kind of works different with different people.
Mayhem, chaos, destruction. My work here is done.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly that. Let's be honest, we love it as well.
So let's get on to the nitty gritty now, the big question, and that is obviously, you know, the current state of the gaming industry. Now, Peter's touched upon this a number of times, and one of the reasons why I also want to bring it up here is because, you know, having, you know, been an avid watcher and listener to the Rapid Reviews Radio podcast and the constant slew of terrible news of people constantly, you know, losing their jobs, the companies and publishers, you know, constantly, you know, throwing out their staff basically, like, oh yeah, we can't afford to pay you anymore. And not just like small companies, but, you know, big AAA studios as well, like Xbox, Microsoft being the biggest.
Hilda Spencer.
Yay! We come full circle with that now.
There he is.
I
knew you'd turn up eventually.
It definitely caught on.
I mean,
there's the other one that I can't say on this because you're a family-friendly podcast.
Yeah. Oh, we do try to keep it family-friendly. I mean, obviously, you know, depends on the topics that we're talking about. You are going to get some cuss words in there at some point, and that's basically, you know, freedom of expression. People are, you know, allowed to express themselves, and sometimes the F-bomb is just the right word to say to express yourself. You know, I'm not ignorant to that. And especially with the current...
I'll keep it friendly. I'll keep it family friendly for your audience.
Thank you. If you want to hear the F-bombs, go over to Rapid Reviews Radio podcast.
Yeah, when I specifically put the explicit tag on.
So, like, if you are not aware, there have been a huge amounts of layoffs in the gaming industry from, you know, big publishers, smaller publishers, who have, you know, taken it upon themselves to say, do you know what, we can't keep the, you know, the amount of staff that we have on, so, you know, we're going to get rid of them all basically. And it's like, but, you know, if you keep getting rid of all your developers who are creating these games, how are you going to create games? Because all that are left are basically the board of directors, your upper management, and then it's like, oh no, we ain't got anybody to actually create things anymore.
Yeah.
There's an easy way. It's called AI. And no, I'm joking. I don't want AI games. Thank you. I think that's more of their thinking, though.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. I mean, AI is great for, you know, certain things. I'm not, you know, ignorant to that. You know, it is great as a tool, as an assistant.
Yeah.
But to,
AI
you know, go fully into it. Yeah, exactly. It's not a crutch. It's not a crutch, and you shouldn't use it as a crutch, because all you're doing is, I mean, yeah, okay, short term, oh yeah, it's going to help create games, and it's going to help create movies, and now we don't need these actors anymore, because now we can use AI to impersonate these actors and characters and voices and all that, and it's like, yeah, but you're just taking out the identity of everything now.
That is true.
We've got to be a bit loose on this, though, sometimes with the game industry jobs. But you've got to remember, some of these are all contract kind of things as well. So they might just be around just for certain projects, and then the job is ending. But I know lots of the jobs that are going are, like you're saying, they've got Microsoft and things. There've been lots of layoffs there, which have been not related to that sort of work. So it really depends what reasons they've been laid off and where they're going after, kind of thing, because it might just be that they re-recruit them to another area. Because you don't often hear about that. Is the problem. So when I hear about these, I always try and give it a little bit of yeah, it's terrible to hear people losing jobs, always is. But normally it's because they're going on to the next projects, and that just doesn't really get told about not so much in that sort of area. So yeah, either way, we don't want layoffs, but at the same time, sometimes it has to happen in those projects as such to move on to the next. But yeah, hopefully it's something that can be like addressed more in the future in terms of better contracts for these people, and actual full-time workers staying on consistently and having that more job security in this industry is what we all really want, to be fair.
Yeah, I think the unfortunate side of things is that because it's a worldwide industry, not every country has very strong employment laws.
No.
The UK is like one of the very few that actually has decent enough employment laws that will protect people, whereas America is just very much like, well, the corporation wants this, so we're going to stick with them, and I think that's the wrong way to do things.
Yeah, I agree entirely there.
I mean, it's another thing if it's like purely on a project basis or per project basis. So like you got a team in to create one particular game, and once that game is created, you're done. Okay, but you've got these other people that are on like full time, whatever. They're midway through development of a game, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. It's like, how can you be like that?
Yeah, I mean, most of the job losses that will end up happening are through QA departments and story writers and stuff like that. And when a project is done, then that's when they end up tending to lose their jobs. I still don't agree with it, but obviously they are surplus to requirements in that respect when the game is finished. Yeah. But if you're planning for your next projects, then surely you would want to keep those people on at some point in time, or move them into another internal department to work on the next game. So say someone like EA, Ubisoft, Activision, for want of a better expression, the AAA developers, surely they've got a constant slew of games coming out that you need QA testers for. But I think the problem is they've now taken it out. Yeah, but they've taken those jobs out as an internal thing, and they'd much rather get contractors in to do it because there's less reason to keep those people on, and you got more of a reason. You end up earning more money as a result of it by not keeping them on permanently.
Yeah. I mean, now this is not exactly the same, but in another way, it kind of is. It's sort of relative. So, obviously, there was a time when I worked in the hospitality trade. I was a waiter. I worked for worked in a hotel, and I became the maitre d' for a spell until I didn't agree with their policies and realised that my hands were tied behind my back a lot of times, and a lot of the decisions that would need to be made were always out of my hands. Now, where am I going with this? So, as the maitre d',
where are you going with this?
Yeah, hold on, I'm getting there. So, as the maitre d', we had, we probably have anything between like 500 guests at the hotel, and a lot of them would be from like huge groups coming in. So people that are coming on like group holidays and stuff like that, they stay at the hotel, they go out to Seville one day, then the next day they go somewhere else. But in the buffet, we had a buffet where we'd have probably about 200 to 300 people eating at one time, and I'd have to hire staff. So temporary staff. So we got the main staff that we have on all the time, and then we got temporary staff that would come in to just, deal with those hours. Now, they'd have it like an average that you'd have like one waiter per 20 people, and it's like, okay, but we got like 200 people coming in at a time, and it's like, oh no, you can't have this many, waiting staff in, that's going to cost us money. And I understand that. But it's like, as soon as like the job is done, as soon as like all the food is served, it's like, okay, we'll tell all the, extra waiting staff to go home, and then, use the base staff at the hotel to, do all the clearing up and that at the later hours. And it's like, well, that's all well and good, but the same people that are coming in to, finish off at like 12, 1 o'clock at night are also the same people that are coming first thing in the morning. And, there are laws to say that, if they're doing split shifts, they have to have a 12-hour period in between working or finishing up a job one day to start the day to start the next day. And it just made it very, very awkward. Very, very awkward. Very, very difficult. So I get it when it's
I
like,
very
okay,
much
so
had
you've
that
done your
in-
job, thank you, now go away. And then you've got to work the staff that you have got extra hard to help cover what you're not allowed to cover, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it does, yeah. And I had a very similar but opposite effect when I worked in hospitality as well. I worked in a pub, and they were perfectly fine with people working 12 14-hour days and then not having those legally binding 11 hours between shifts. They were more than happy to get someone in like 7 8 hours later and do like another 14-hour shift. It was ridiculous. The amount of hours that I pulled as an assistant manager of a pub was just unbelievable.
Oh,
it was a similar thing where you'd get some temporary staff come in and they were just like, right, yeah, okay, you can go home now, but you have to stay because you're here contracted with us, like on an actual wage.
Yeah.
It was horrendous.
And then it's like, oh, but we'll give you the time back, or we'll pay you extra. And it's like, no, what I want is my time. I'm legally allowed to have this time off. I've worked my contractual 12 hours, and there is only so many extra hours you can do in a year legally as well. But they forget all that. And I know what you mean, Pete. I've worked 14-hour days. I once, no word of a lie, I once worked at a restaurant, and I worked through the summer, and it's a long summer here in Spain. We're talking about 90 days consecutively from like June 24th until like the second week of September, without a single day off, 14-hour shifts every single day. Now, I could just about get away with that. I was young then, but I could not do that now. I cannot pull that crap now.
Yeah, I'm too old for that nonsense nowadays.
Yeah, I've not done anything like that for a very long time, if I'm honest. So if you are doing that sort of shifts and stuff, feel sorry for you guys. But same time, it's what you're contracted to do, and that's the whole problem with it. It's the whole industry needs to change on that side before any real big changes in general as such. But it's painful, and when we saw the likes of the Rare team recently, because they had a cancelled game, the whole Xbox division has been downsized because of that cancellation, and that's where a lot of this has all come from as such. Because that cancellation, lots of people lost their jobs unexpectedly because of that cancellation. So they just need to follow through with these projects from start to finish, and that wouldn't happen as such, that kind of thing. But it's poor decisions by management in the first place that's led to that happening, and that needs to change in the whole industry in general.
Oh yes,
there needs to be more protections.
And it's the ambition as well, and greed. And it's like, okay, so we'll get these. Like, I mean, they did it with footballers as well, didn't they? They still do. And it's like, oh, I want to have basically playing fantasy football, but with actual real players. So, it's like, oh, I want you to come and join me at Manchester United. Then they're going to go off and play for Real Madrid, and then, go play off for, PSG and all that. And it's like, okay, well, that's all well and good. I mean, as long as, that's what they want to do and earn money, the footballers themselves. But I mean, like the actual owners of the club. And it's like, I want this person on my team. I want this person on my team. Not necessarily because, they're going to get on well with the other players on the team. It's just like, oh, I want a star-studded team. I want people to look at me and think, oh, wow, he's got Ronaldo and he's got Messi and he's got this one and he's got that one. It's like, yeah, but do they work well together?
Well, it didn't work very well with PSG, unfortunately, because they had all those superstars, and it was only once they got rid of them and had a young team, they actually won the Champions League.
There you are. And like with the gaming industry, and it's like, it's always going to dial back to Embracer Group, because I think Embracer Group are just... They really, I mean, they're the ones that are more in the limelight about it. Getting up all these companies and developers and that under their wing, their portfolio, and then it's like, but
don't do what with them.
You do nothing with them.
Well, let's be honest, right? Embracer Group are probably more irrelevant now than they have been because they've not done anything recently. and
No.
they had financial issues. I would say that the first real problematic company that ever did this was back in the 2000s, which was Microsoft, because they acquired all these studios to get themselves started, especially with companies like Rare, and have done next to nothing with them.
Yeah, it's been a huge problem. EA's, of course, done lots of that in the past, where they've bought studios up and then just destroyed them and then taken the best bits out of it and then left those poor people to just struggle on and just try and find their own areas to try and get new jobs and things. So it's a long-running saga in the whole industry of this. It isn't just a new thing. This has been going on for absolutely decades, kind of thing, you know. So things need to change. Things definitely need to change.
I mean, it's asset stripping, isn't it? It's asset stripping. I mean, with Microsoft, okay, yeah, in the beginning, you're absolutely right. They went around, picking up companies, and then they did kind of like start doing things with them. So obviously, we did get like Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts and stuff like that, and then they did. Well, yeah, I'm not saying they were great, but I'm just saying they did actually, they did develop games at that point.
Connect Sports.
Connect Sport, well,
If that game come out now, I think it would have done a lot better.
I think it probably would, especially after Tears of the Kingdom.
It wasn't Banjo free. That's the other problem. Yeah.
Oh, they really should have done a Banjo 3, but I think because like half the team left by then, didn't they, before it even started? Or maybe it's because they wouldn't let them make.
Sonic hasn't gone through good times recently either, so.
No, they haven't.
Another one with studio losses, absolutely. Yeah. When the only game they're making is a remake of their first game, that is a bit of a problem. So.
I think that's an issue, and I had big concerns about it at the time when it got announced. I was like, why are you essentially remaking a game that's less than 10 years old?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, in one way, I kind of get it, because obviously, the fans were not very happy with how it came out, and I don't think the developers were really happy with it either. So I can kind of get that. But you think, just make a darn sequel, mate.
They did. The Impossible Lair didn't exactly do very well, even though it was a very good game.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean like a direct sequel 3D platformer to the first one. But
I don't think so. I honestly think that they should be going off and doing their own thing. The problem is they're just resting so much on these laurels of we were the developers of Banjo-Kazooie, so let's just do what people expect us to do.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of know why it didn't really, stick the landing anyway, and it's because it wasn't Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things. There were other, slight issues with it, with like platforming and wonky controls. That even they've, admitted to themselves, wonky controls.
There was even issues even back then, like that. Kickstarting games had a bit of a sour note for some people, especially after like Mighty Number 9 and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Things like that. Ooh.
So we're touching on things we're touching on things that people have forgotten about, and that's the problem, is that the vast majority of the people who are interested in video games forget very easily about the history, and we don't. We're old enough to remember all the scummy practices that we've been through.
Yeah.
Microtransactions and all that are not new things. They've just been changed to some degree. I mean, I've lived long enough to see multiple Street Fighter versions come out on one console. It's ridiculous, and I still love that series, but I think that even Capcom is testing my patience when it comes to certain things with Street Fighter 6.
I mean, you're not wrong, especially like adding Sagat now as like an extra character, and you think, but he was in it from the beginning. What the hell are you playing at?
The problem is that he actually looks really cool, and I know I'm gonna buy it, but it's like I shouldn't have to pay for a legacy character as a DLC character. They've done it with Cody in Street Fighter 5, and so many others like Urian and Gil and all that. And it annoys me that these legacy characters are being reserved for DLC, and especially like a season pass DLC that is like 25 quid, and they're doing multiple, they'll do multiple years of a game. So like the base game costs you £70, $80 or whatever, and yet they're expecting you to spend more and more of your hard-earned money just to make sure that the game you're still relevant within a game, especially a live service game.
Yeah. It's criminal. It's criminal. I mean, you know, I don't mind doing it for, you know, like the likes of Terry and Mai and, you know, other characters like Cameo. I mean, I suppose it like Mortal Kombat, they have cameo characters, don't they? So, you know.
They do, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't mind doing it for them, but like staple characters of the series, and it's like, oh no, we're going to make you pay for them. You think, sorry?
Yes, you know, that's where I quite liked the fact that Smash Brothers Ultimate, whilst the DLC for like 4 and Ultimate, they were really good. So, like, I was more than happy to support them because actually they put a lot of work into them.
Yeah.
And they were characters that obviously required a lot of different licensing agreements that needed to be done, like with SNK and Disney, like in the case of Sora and Terry for that game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think if you're going to do DLC for a game, then at least have it come out after the fact, you know, because obviously you need to get your teams back to continue working on it. But it's when they've already told you about DLC plans even before the game is released. You're like, have you actually just already developed it and just locking it off for us because you want to charge extra money? It's a bit worrying to me, that practice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there is a fine line between it, you know what I mean? You saw the roster for Smash Bros. And obviously, you know, you're already getting, what, about 70 characters or something from the very start. And then, you know, you're getting additional characters afterwards, including the likes of Banjo-Kazooie and obviously Terry and, you know, everybody else that they added over time, even Min from ARMS.
Not the greatest character reveal of all time, but still a fun character nonetheless.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was certainly interesting because obviously people thought, you know, go with the title character, so to speak, innit, which is Springman or whatever. And it's like, no, we're going to give you this one instead. And it's like, no, okay then, interesting.
But that's because Springman kind of sucked.
That is true. That is true. I mean, let's face it, if we
all
all preferred
characters, it should have been Ribbon Girl or Twintail.
Yeah, I knew you was going to say Twintail.
No, that's because everyone else said Twintail. I didn't particularly like Twintail that much.
I don't think it was necessarily Twintail's personality people liked.
Is that possible? I'm not sure.
I mean, Nintendo was going through a phase then as well, and even with Zelda, yeah, that was a thing.
Just remember what Sakurai said: "Is a Smash is for good boys and girls," and that's why Mai couldn't make it into the game as even as a background character.
It's for good girls, boys and girls, and then that's why you got the likes of Pyro and Mithra in it. But at least they're wearing their Smash tights.
yeah, the old heavily censored versions of them. Thank you. I mean, I've not played Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but I know what their character models look like in that game, and oh boy, that wouldn't have made Smash.
It made a lot of people excited. Oh yes. So anyway, so let's move. I mean, obviously, you know, we've talked about the current state of the industry. So what do we think would be the way forward? What do game developers and publishers need to do to, you know, become more sustainable?
Sorry, can I take this one first? Because I think this is a very easy question to answer because it's already being done. It's a more heavily focused on indie publishers, indie developers as a whole, and less budget. I mean, a game like Clair Obscur Expedition 33, I know has been talked about to the rafters, but the fact that you have a team of 34 people, of all people who just met via Reddit posts and just working together, and creating a team to create a game that was on a double A budget of that kind of scale is exactly what the industry needs. We used to have it back in the late 90s, early 2000s, even as far as like the mid 2000s, where big publishers would have their big tentpole games like a Call of Duty, but they would also have smaller titles around that to help bolster the budgets and build the profile up for those larger budget games. And I think we have lost the ability to actually just create these smaller titles, and Claire Obscure's just come out of absolutely nowhere and proven that you need these kinds of games. You need a AA game to bolster the AAA industry. But it's also the fact that the AAA industry needs to pull their finger out of their butts and understand that not every game needs to have a $200 to $300 million budget for diminishing returns.
Yeah.
You know, you can spend a couple of mil on a game that doesn't need to have high-end visuals, but so long as it's fun, it will stay in the zeitgeist a lot longer than a game like that. I mean, let's be honest. Spider-Man 2 is a game that was loved by most at the time that it's released.
Yeah.
How often is it spoken about since it's been released?
Oh,
not very often.
No, if anything at all. I mean,
yet
people
Claire
are very,
Obscure
very
is a
quick to
game that's
move
been
on
out-
to the next big thing.
Exactly, but yet Claire Obscura has completely dominated the discussion since it's been out in April.
Mm.
I think that tells you everything you need to know.
I think they do need to go back to their roots, really. I mean, Gorney, your thoughts?
I think very much the same sort of view, to be honest. That it needs better management to start off with, and better budget control is definitely a high part of it. But there are loads of independent developers that are making incredible games on no budget whatsoever. So why that isn't possible for these bigger companies, I don't know. You know, but they need to. They definitely need to make some changes to make sure people are more secure in the jobs they're in, and that's the main thing we need to sort of focus on here. And there are lots of incredible people who are currently out of jobs, and if you're looking for new developers for your game, maybe consider putting some words out and seeing if you can find some of those devs into those new roles and things. But it's just so frustrating to see, and especially when you see games like this that come out, which must have had a massive amount of people put this game together, and it's such a brilliant game. But now the thing with Nintendo, you know, that they'll be working on the next project. Not a lot of people get made redundant from Nintendo, or they may come to end the contract. They do get renewals quite often on that side. But it's very, very strange the way it seems to be a lot of American firms mainly that have caused a lot of this problems as well, though. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully there'll be some improvements in the future, and we can go from there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, So you don't hear much about layoffs at Nintendo, for example. We'll use Nintendo as an example here because obviously, you know, we're all, you know, we follow very much the social circles of Nintendo and their business practices and that. Mm-hmm. So you don't see much, but when you do, it's normally in the US.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, when they shut down their, was it the Seattle offices? Obviously, that's where, like, Kit Ellis and, you know, Krista Yang worked before. So, it was like their PR team, basically, that they shut down. Mm. But then they moved it elsewhere, didn't they? Was it they moved it to California or something?
Outsourcing does happen a lot in America, but yeah, that does cause problems as well. I can't reach that area. Can I work from home and do this? And a lot of the time it's like, no, you can't. You've got to be in the office. So it's like, well, I just lost my job because you've moved it, kind of thing. Things like that as well. Also causing huge problems in the industry.
I mean, I suppose the slight difference is, you know, they did offer, you know, relocation and stuff like that, and say, well, you know, we are moving the offices here, but you can still, like, you know, keep your job, but you'd have to relocate. And then some people are like, well, you know, I'm not prepared to do that. I've got families here, you know.
Sometimes, yeah, exactly, yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane, really, but I don't know. I think that there have been some YouTubers that have probably put it out there. I think some people have definitely put it out there a lot more than someone like myself has. I wouldn't be surprised if the video game industry or the AAA industry at least crashes at some point, and not quite to the point of just localized to America. I fear that a worldwide video game crash could happen within the next 5 years.
When
I think
Microsoft was once laying people off, it was a concern, big time. That's like, wait a minute, this should not be happening. But
no,
clearly
that's
some
not the
problems there.
Yeah, but that's not the first time they've done it. Like, over the last 18 months, they've laid off, like, what was it, nearly 20,000 people.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's
it's insane.
not just Xbox, though, is it? It's the whole
It's
Microsoft
across the whole of
general.
Microsoft, yeah.
Yeah. It's just
Bonkers.
insane.
some people think I'm crazy, but I just think I'm free.
Yeah. Maybe so.
Maybe so. Oh, it's a bonkers, isn't it? Some people think I'm bonkers. I just think I'm free. Yeah. But I think ideally, the gaming industry does need a bit of a reset, or a bit of what do they call it? You know, go off and like search for themselves. You know, get their priorities in order.
Think about what you've done.
Yes. Reflect. They need to go out and reflect and think of what it is that they really want to do as a company. And, you know, I mean, do they want to be a company that just fires all these people and then it's like, okay, well, you know, how are we going to make games now because we got nobody working for us? And, you know, yeah, I do understand that they have to cut the fats where they need to, but how, where is the logic here? That you got people that are currently working and developing on games that are going to earn you money, and you think, do you know what? It'll be better to just cut our losses here now. And it's like, do you have that little faith in the game that they were making that it's not going to make you a profit?
Guess not. Well, they did, and then that changes pretty quickly when they see how much money they spend. That's the other problem.
I mean, it's like Nintendo were like, Metroid Prime 4 was in absolute development hell for a hell of a long time. You just don't know what was happening with that, you know. And then there was a point of like, who's developing in it? And then they've had to, you know, say, look, do you know what? We showed you this trailer, and now, you know, that was like 3-4 years ago from when they decided to like reset. It's like, yeah, we're going to get another developer back in. We're going to go back to, was it Retro now, isn't it? We've developed...
Yeah, it's back with Retro, and apparently it was with Bandai Namco first and foremost.
Yeah. Which is a little... Not a little weird that they was with Bandai Namco in the first place, because they've worked on a good number of games. Even like Smash Bros was also, you know, like co-developed with Bandai Namco. So, you know, I've got no problem with that. And obviously Bandai Namco have made, you know, quite a lot of curious and interesting and, you know, fun games themselves as well. Little Nightmares, obviously they didn't create, but they publish it. So, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, like you said, Pete, they have got to kind of like go back to their roots sort of thing, and like, you know, have your big AAA games, but also, you know, you got to have your AA games to help deal with, you know, the lull period. So, you know, like when people are looking for another game that they can just kind of like, you know, whet their appetite on, refresh themselves before diving into the next big thing. Now, Nintendo kind of do that, but even then they need to kind of like, you know, look at themselves a little bit. And why do I say this? Because obviously, like the likes of their spin-offs, like Mario Strikers, Mario Golf, Mario Tennis, Ultra Smash, and you know all that. These games,
their sports games output has been really poor over the last few years. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I've played all of them on the Switch, and I think the one that I'm probably most connected to, and it's not saying much, is obviously Strikers. I think I've played that a lot more than I have played like the golf or the tennis, to be fair. Just could not gel with them. And
yeah, I agree, but there was also like they did the most Nintendo of Nintendo things by not making it 4-player online, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Why?
Just does not make sense.
That's annoying, baby.
Maybe they didn't think there'd be enough people playing it online.
I think they did it just to wind me up, honestly.
It's nothing personal. Hell yeah, it is.
It was personal to me, damn it.
Yeah, I mean, they got to sort themselves out. They got to reflect. They got to look and think back and think, do you know what? This is obviously what we're doing right now is not working, and we need to, just firing loads of people should not be the answer. I mean, if somebody needs to be fired because they're terrible at their job, I mean, it's an unfortunate circumstance, but, if they're, that bad at their job, or, they were taking funds on the fly or whatever,
Yeah, if they're actually committing a crime or something like that,
Exactly.
then yeah, fair enough.
Something justifiable. But to say, do you know what? I mean, what you're doing is all right, but now you've got to look after our managers, pockets, and it's like,
yeah, we're firing you because we can't make money.
And it's like, yeah, because you don't make enough, do you already? You know what I mean?
Yeah, my problem is that, the management department or managers and CEOs make more than enough money in bonuses, yet they're the ones making the actual decisions and walk away with a lot more money than everyone else. I don't think that's very fair, but that's corporate business for you, unfortunately.
I mean, it's like, become a game developer and you can earn like 20,000 a year, or 30,000 a year, and you think, in the UK that sounds amazing, but in the States that's like impoverished.
Yeah.
Because everything's so high there, everything's so expensive. You don't have free healthcare. It's all these wild things. Mind you, in the UK, it's going that way a little bit as well itself, isn't it? Everything is, so expensive.
It is.
I mean, obviously, you still have the NHS, but only just.
Even the NHS is dying.
Yeah. It's just, it's not good. It's not good. But anyway, obviously, I'm going a bit off point here. But just a little bit. We've gone well off point. Yeah, so like the game developers, and then you got the people up in the higher hierarchy that are earning hundreds of thousands a year, and you think, look, I get that being at a higher position should grant you more money, right? Okay, but there is this thing called greed, and the problem that you should be thinking is not, I need a multi-million bonus this year. It's like, how can I keep the company going so that people and the fans will stay invested in us, and continue to play our games. I mean, fans and people, we can be very, very fickle, exceptionally fickle. It's like, I'm going to boycott this company because, they've done this and they've done that and that's not right. And then they make a game that you've been waiting for absolute yonks for, and it's like, we're fans of theirs now.
I'm very much in that sort of ballpark, especially with the likes like EA, for example. I've not really bought an EA game for probably about 5-6 years at this point.
Yeah, same.
Because of their practices. But if a new Mass Effect game come out, I may have to change that. But still.
Well, this is it, isn't it?
Sorry, I still haven't bought a Ubisoft game since the allegations of sexual harassment came out, and I will stick to that as long as I live. Besides, most Ubisoft games kind of suck anyway.
I mean, you're not wrong, Pete. You're not wrong. I mean, I can't remember the last time I've played an actual Ubisoft game, unless you count Mario Rabbids. But that was more of a personal decision because obviously I enjoyed the first game and I enjoyed, the effort and the work that the developers put into that. And I'd like to, that was more of a small scale like developer thing. I wanted to support the developers of Ubisoft Milan, rather than the company itself. But Ubisoft on a whole have made some absolutely terrible decisions, and how they've managed to get away with so much crap, and especially like this other thing which I mentioned to you before on your your podcast about they've updated their EULCA agreement.
EULA.
That's it. And it's like basically if we stop creating the game and stop supporting the game, you have to destroy your copy of it. It's like, sorry?
That's absolutely asinine and ridiculous, and anyone in the EU should go and sign the petition for the Stop Killing Games campaign.
Yeah. I mean, that makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. It's almost like if a car developer with a car that you've, spent your hard-earned cash on, right? And cars are not cheap. I know. I'm currently in the process of buying one myself. They're not cheap. But if like the car developer turned around to me and then said like, yeah, you're not allowed to drive that anymore because we decided we're not putting it to market anymore. It's like, sorry.
Nope, definitely not. I might not be able to play my copy of Concord, but I still have it sealed. Thank you very much, Sony. Screw you.
or just, I mean, like you touched upon with live service games. Like, where do you go from here? Of course, getting a phone call at the moment now. Right in the middle of a very, very important conversation. Of course, my phone won't go quiet. Shush.
Stop ringing, Jack.
Jack, be quiet.
It is Jack. It is Jack.
He wants in. He wants to chat.
Look, this is the problem with living in another country, mate, is that you don't get to go and see your family constantly, so now they have to ring you. I will call it back live on a podcast.
Do it. Live.
Yes,
live
we
chat.
shall. Game chat with Mike Light.
Mike Light. Oh, that's so good.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I think we're probably coming close to the end now anyway, aren't we? Really? Okay, alright, when's the Switch 2 Lite coming out?
Oh.
There you go, you said light.
You didn't mean literally.
Oh, I take things very literally, thank you.
Fine.
Yeah, well, fine. I pose a question then. I said it last week where, on the previous episode, has the games industry been the same since Toru Iwata passed? Which led to this discussion. Has the gaming industry been the same since Free Radical Design went down?
Oh, no, 100% not.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. Bring back Free Radical, you cowards.
Absolutely,
and not for
yeah.
Embracer, because that went really badly the first time.
And Westwood Studios and all the others that EA destroys.
Oh, Westwood. Oh, we're going to Command and Conquer now.
Bring back Bullfrog.
Yes! Mind you, they've tried that a little bit, ain't they? But that's mainly Sega with 2 Point Studios.
They did, yeah. Just let's not bring back Peter Molyneux. We don't need that back.
No. I do want a modern Populous, though. I did quite enjoy Populous. That was cool. That was fun.
I mean, Black and White was decent as well, though.
Fable.
Yeah.
I mean, they're bringing back Fable, but it's not the Fable we probably know or love.
It's Fable, Jim, but not as we know it.
Not when half the studio's probably been sacked, But...
Yeah, that's like the monkey paw situation, isn't it? It's like, you want Fable back? Oh, but you don't. You're gonna get it like this. Ooh, oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
The monkey paw. It's like, hey, do you want a Donkey Kong game? Here we go. Mind you, I think they've delivered with this. They've delivered with this.
Dance Revolution returns with Donkey Kong.
No, we need a re-release of Dance Revolution Mario Mix.
Just for Waluigi, and that, to be honest, but yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, so good. So good.
Did I miss that? I did miss that. Right, well, I suppose with that note, then, yeah, hopefully. Hopefully. I mean, I can definitely see them doing a Nintendo Switch 2 Lite for those who didn't pick up the Switch 2 themselves. But, we'll see. Or maybe just a dockless version, and then people can have the ability to dock it or buy a dock later on.
There'll be revisions for sure.
Oh yes.
There'll be plenty of revisions. Maybe one that has VR or built in at the start.
Yeah.
It's been rumoured. It's been rumoured a few times, so let's wait and see on that one.
We will have to wait and see. I mean, technically, you could possibly still do this with Nintendo Switch 2 with like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which has got Labo VR incorporated into it. But with it being a bigger screen, you would need a bigger headset in order to actually fit it. Because with that, and also like Mario Odyssey, you can actually just select the mode and it'll go straight into it and create the two like circular like screens on the main screen. Whereas like if you use the actual Nintendo Labo toy set, you'd have to actually put it into the device, and because it's got the sensor at the bottom, it would then, you know, say, okay, we're moving over to VR mode. But obviously this doesn't have the sensor on the bottom on the Switch 2. They took that away. But still left in the VR mode for Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. But anyway, I think we've come to a point where we're just rambling now for the sake of rambling. So, guys...
I think we've been rambling for the last half an hour, if I'm honest. But, you know.
Well, if I'm being perfectly honest, it's probably for the last hour and a half.
That's very true, yeah.
Very true. Did we get our points across? Probably not. Did we make points? Maybe. But anyway...
entertaining? Possibly.
Possibly. Look, all we want to say is, look, Donkey Kong Bonanza is a pretty great game. Obviously, there are going to be some issues and things, especially with like frame rate, and obviously, if you've been watching this video as well, it is not the most appealing game through game chat.
No, it's quite hideous, actually. I've been watching parts of both of yours, and it's like, oh dear, okay.
Yeah, and then even like if you expand the screen, so if I expand your screen at the moment, because you've got quite a lot going on, Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah. It like drops down to like, was it like 380p or something?
Yeah, not the most appealing. I've literally just been sitting here smashing loads of things up, fossil hunting in the first area.
Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't look the absolute best when doing like game chat, but then at the end of the day, I mean, you're going to be playing the game for yourself anyway. But like if you're playing with friends and it's like, oh, you need to go to this area, and it's like, well, let me look at your screen quickly to see where that is. Oh, okay then. You don't really need to see, you know, super high.
It does
visual.
work in a way. Yeah.
It just works.
It just works.
Just
No,
about.
it just works. No, it just works. Emphasis on the just.
Works.
Emphasis on the just. It just about works. So yeah. So anyway, guys, thank you both for. I'm stuttering now. Must be getting to the end of the show. I'm running out of things to talk about. Brain needs a reboot. Thank you very much for both of you coming on to the show. So I'm going to start with Gawney. Where can people find you? The floor is yours, bud.
Thank you for having me on again. I am Gawney7789 on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on everywhere basically. If you could look for me on places like that. I'm doing a big push on Instagram at the moment, doing lots of new things on there, doing lots of little shorts and things. So hopefully that would be something of interest and come and tune in.
Excellent. And Pete, over to you, bud. Where can people find you? That's not just Game and Chat.
You can find me on Game and Chat. But you can also find me primarily on the Rapid Reviews Radio podcast, which airs live on a Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. UK time, where we talk about video games and news and what we've been playing, and some topics from time to time.
Well, folks, again, thank you very much for coming along, you two. It's always a pleasure to, you know, shoot the breeze with you guys and play games as well. It just makes it so much more fun to be able to talk about games and, you know, playing them at the same time. You know,
and watch them all in 360p.
Yay! But to everybody at home, thank you very much for watching and listening. And until next time, keep on gaming.